Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. According to Logic, doing the editing stream has given him a big up boost for words. Let me not link it there. I'll link it here though. Da, 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 da. Day 52. So glad we made it. What do we got here? And then let's get our chat. Is that? No, Itanshi was yesterday. Well, it's Monday morning. Time to go to work. I do this. I do this every fucking day. It doesn't matter if it's Monday morning or January o'clock or what the hell's going on. So we're all the way up to page 415. When we get to, and we're at 660 pages. My fucking goal, of course, is to put out a book that's 666 pages. Just, gotta shout out to the devil if we possibly can. See big Logic up in the chat. Anxious to get some of them points. Look at this shit right here. 82 to Spathy was 176. And Spathy's busy with some kind of www.irk coding nonsense. So now's the time to get in on this. I actually really like this chapter. It's about Lemon trying to cross the Williamsburg Bridge to get to his bar. Or the initial part is him trying to cross Williamsburg Bridge. So the chapter that's coming up, number 51, Ain't Halal, which takes place on the Williamsburg Bridge at 12:20 p.m., is all about sort of the aftermath in the city of, and it's a shame that I wasn't in the city during 9/11 because I was busy parachuting out of that plane. But yeah, it would be super helpful to get an idea for what was happening at the time. I drank up the last of my coffee this morning. I'm gonna have to make some more. I've just been real lazy about making more. I'm like, I'll make more tomorrow. I still got another glass, and then get down here. Just got that one glass left. I don't like it. Where's my cushion of coffee that we have here? But yeah, as we're going through this chapter, we want to think about what it's like in the wake of a disaster. Because, so, not to fucking lay it on too thick, but in the last chapter, Matthew and Thirsty went and exploded about 100 pipe bombs in Grand Central and Port Authority. And the Port Authority part is worse than the Grand Central part. But I think we calculated that Matthew dropping like 50 fucking pipe bombs down there, and we were estimating that each would kill about 30 people and injure about 70 total. So yeah, we're looking at the death toll in the JFK disaster is officially 1066 as of that day, because we watched a newspaper with Carl Mason. So we've added another, conservatively, like 3,000 to 5,000 people that were killed here. This is a high death toll for this book. I'm telling you, I don't understand why we're just blasting New Yorkers left and right. What do they fucking do? They just want to go to work, ride the subway and get their dicks sucked. But instead we're blowing them apart. And when we go back and edit chapters 49 and 48 and so forth, I think it's a little important that we sit down and actually try to get across, like, hey, these are human beings within the context of the story. Every one of those is meant to be somebody who has like a family, hopes and dreams and so forth. When you really sit down and start thinking about attacks like 9/11 or all the people that are currently getting beaten to death in riots. You gotta remember, like that one death touches like 50 or 80 people in their immediate family because we're all interlinked. Like, you know, they're homies from school, the people they work with. Um, a lot of people out there would be like sorely missed if they were to just get blown up by some asshole kid with a backpack full of pipe bombs. So, something to keep in mind, and this chapter is a little bit about the aftermath of that attack. Let's get down to it. This is Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady by Zak Zyz. This is day 52 of our editing, and look at that. We're almost back up to a chapter a day. If we can get 2 chapters done today, we'll be back on track to where we have done a chapter a day. Some good and some bad, according to logic. Yeah. Yeah, like I guess everybody hears that question and they can't help but wonder, is how am I gonna be remembered? And yeah, I gotta sit there and think about that one there. I think the only people truly sad to see a guy go, outside of immediate family type loved ones, etc., are some nerds on IRC, and that is a haunting thought. This is chapter 51, Ain't Halal, 3.10 to 20 p.m., the Williamsburg Bridge. Subway into the city? Haha, guess again. Cab? Sure, if you don't mind a 4-hour wait and a $200 fare. There's checkpoints at all the bridges, goons and BDUs with M16s. Goons kitted out in BDUs with M16s, and today is the day they don't have to take no shit off of nobody. Where do the commas even go in this sentence? Goons kitted out in BDUs. Yeah, I think we just need that and out of there. Those are goons kitted out in BDUs with M16s. Yeah, goons with M16s and BDUs. Today's the day they don't have to take no shit off of nobody. Hell yeah. Let's see. There's checkpoints at all the bridges run by goons and BDUs toting M16s. Something about the way that sentence just rings out. Goons and BDUs toting M16s. That's the kind of shit I don't ever want to hear. I don't want goons and BDUs with M16s all up on my bridges. I don't care how much civil disorder there is. Today is the day they don't have to take no shit off of nobody. He ought to just... He oughta. He oughta just stay in Brooklyn, watch the TV. Yeah, I don't think we can get oughta. He oughta just stay in Brooklyn and watch the TV. Yeah, we gotta... Lemon oughta just stay in Brooklyn, watch the TV. Instead, he hoofs it across the Williamsburg Bridge, smokes and stands in line with all the joggers, bicyclists, and working slobs to get pat down. So the lemon chapters, where it's just lemon, is where we can just really lay the noir shit on thick. Um, so he doesn't eye the weekend soldiers; he eyeballs them. You know, uh, they don't. It's not they don't have to take shit off anybody. Like they don't have to take no shit off of nobody. You gotta just stay in Brooklyn, watch the TV. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's we got like a doubled up thing there. Lemon ought to just stay in Brooklyn, watch the TV, and wait for Shirley to come home. Instead, he hoofs it across the Williamsburg Bridge. Ooh, I think National Guardsman is capitalized. Yeah. Like Marines are capitalized. That is the formal name. Okay, it looks like National Guardsman is generalized enough that it's not capitalized, at least in the dictionary.com. Jesus, sounds rough, lady. Should get that checked out. Yeah, we're gonna fucking two wild claws. Yeah, I'm gonna give old Brongulus a give him a point right there. Oh fuck! I thought we turned off the sound of that tab. Hold on, let me mute that fucking tab. That meat merp. All right, yeah. So we're muted now. But yeah, you definitely got a point. What are you at there? You got 15 edits, Brongulus. It's a significant portion of this book. I think it's a janky sentence. Okay, and then this should be a whole different paragraph. Ba, ba, ba. Mm-hmm. Uh, Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. So, I mean, that's his whole gig, right? He's a fucking bartender. Initially, he was just going to be like an asshole, right? Um, so what's the bigger asshole move? Like, nah, I don't mind. um, but I like this a little bit better, where he sees his role as being a salve for the wounds of the city. What does this lady do with her time? Damn, now I want a cig so bad. I know. The other fucking, I haven't smoked in fucking, I don't think I've smoked a cigarette in like 20 years. No, it's like almost 20 years. And, they, they, like just walking around the other day, I'm like, I could really use a fucking smoke, man. And I was like, I'll just buy a big ass cigar. And I'm so glad I didn't. But, um, what's her face look like? She's like, this is what I want. Mm, let's So Brongulus says pursed lips is overused. It's also not something I'd ever say. I don't think I'd ever be like, yeah, his lips were pursed. I mean, yeah, I think it's a little bit of cliche at this point. Okay, so here's in the back of my mind, I've been struggling for. I want to say she takes a deep, soulful drag, and the lack of a filter doesn't slow her down in the slightest. Yeah, but it's not quite right. It's like there are only so many ways to describe person. I'm fine with her, and just her lips being tight because you can interpret that however. Because we could just be talking about her pussy lips right there. She's like dry as a bone because of this asshole. But really and truly, so here, uh, okay. So I like the poetic image of her youthening. Um, Man, if you have ever seen somebody who, I think the big thing is that that lady is just carrying a tremendous amount of stress with her, like the point where she's like, "Do you mind?" And all that tension and so forth. Takes this deep fucking drag on a cigarette. All the muscles in her face relax. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who just really, really, really needed a fucking smoke that got one, but you can literally have a decade fall off of their face just like that. Um, yeah. So Logic says addiction being fulfilled during WD during withdrawals makes people smile, a genuine smile, and and anyhow, we don't know how old this lady even is, right? We don't get into it. So, and I like that Lemon's immediately like, hey, maybe a dose of vitamin D could help her out there. Hey, yeah, yeah, that's so much better. So this was Jesus. That sounds rough, lady. Should get that checked out. Yeah, yeah, she harumps, but what the fuck can she do about it? It's a public bridge. So that was okay. I mean, that's like an okay exchange. But the one we selected shows us like a lot more about the character of Lemon. Um, Here, hold on, hold on. So we got to move. Yeah, this section has to move to the front. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Most people who pass him, and that's most people because he ain't passing them, they aren't even that afraid. Vitamin N. I don't even know what vitamin N is meant to be. Lemon never wears headphones when he walks. There's all kinds of people headed to work. Lemon never wears headphones when he walks. He's got sharp ears and he likes to pick up on what... He likes to eavesdrop on strangers. It's half the reason he tends bar. He gets an earful as he's huffing and puffing over the bridge. Most people who pass him, and that's most people because he ain't passing them. Look at this fucking semicolon that we got right here. Most people who pass him, and that's most people because he ain't passing them. They aren't even that afraid. Look at that fucking sentence. God. I have no idea if that punctuation is even close to right. Right? All right, so let's break out these pros. Most people who pass him, and that's most people, because he ain't passing them, they aren't even that afraid. That's a superfluous they, but it's got to be there. I know, right? Woo. A lot of them are shaking their heads about the bombing, muttering, not this bullshit again. He hears them cracking jokes as they walk past. The terrorists are just pissed because the MTA... A lot of them are shaking their heads about the bombing, muttering some variant of not this bullshit again. Lemon hears them cracking jokes. Yeah, we don't need a colon. The terrorists are just... And so on and so on. M dashes instead? Yeah, actually we can. Yeah. So this is like a very stylistic fucking sentence. Yeah, so it is an interjection, right, within our sentence. So that's actually a good... that's actually like a really good place to use M dashes. And that's most people, because he ain't passing them. They aren't even that afraid. In fact, they aren't even afraid. Most people who pass him aren't even that afraid. A lot of them are shaking their heads about the bombing, muttering some variant of not this bullshit again. Lemon hears them cracking jokes. The terrorists are mad because the MTA jacked up MetroCard prices. Dumbass towelheads couldn't hijack a plane because they already blew up the fucking airport. And so on, and so on. Yeah, we just need one. You don't put spaces around em dashes. Em dashes are interjections. Yeah, there should never be spaces around em dashes. Yeah, so it looks awkward without. I mean, that's the role of the em dash as like an interjection, and so there's no spaces around them. It's just not how sentences work. No, there are not. Yeah, there are not. It's hold on. The em dash is typically used without spaces on either side. Most newspapers do it, but this is a novel. It's not a newspaper. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, we do use two em dashes though. And they're saying that it's like I do think that two em dashes is necessary here, so that's how we're gonna do it. But for an interjection, I would not use a. Yeah, that's better. I know it looks weird, but like em dashes are they're like a punctuation that if you use more than one in your book, you're an asshole. About a Wikipedia. Yeah, I only know this because we had to look it up for Gravid, or one usage of an em dash in Gravid, where I think the typical is not to use one, and it makes sense if you really think about it, right? Because an em dash, let's think if we really think about it, spaces between words are a punctuation. They're meant to be pauses, right? They're meant to be timing. And their interjection is taking the place of that pause. It's not pause, interjection. It's just interjection between two words exactly. I think stylistically, like if I want to look at it from a grammar standpoint, I agree that there shouldn't be spaces there, just because of what you're actually trying to get that punctuation mark to do. It's like, hey, that shit we were saying before, take a look at this instead. Okay, back to what we were on. That's how I see it. Anyhow, I'm not a fucking expert though. Somebody else would probably know on. I don't think this paragraph works, honestly. MetroCard is capitalized, by the way. Let's what's the Plumbers Union? UA Local 1. I'm down with how I put it. Gonna consult my Greg. Yeah. It does seem M dashes seem to be a punctuation where there isn't a widespread consensus on usage because it's not a very common punctuation. And the problem is, once you get into uncommon punctuation, shit like interrobangs and so forth, in most cases you just shouldn't use it because it will knock the reader out of the story. In this case, we're using it because there is a very specific, like we have a goal in mind for that sentence. Um, we very much want that kind of like jazzy. This is happening, but but this like that tempo is important to the tone of the piece. So I'm willing to lose a percentage of readers to get that in there that way. But I do think that swapping them to M dashes is better. There are multiple variations with Al Qaeda. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it this way, since this is how the Wikipedios have it. Mm. There we go. Let's just add a little bit more zazz to our casual racism. Arabic in general is a hard language to transliterate from. Yeah. It's also one where there's a great deal of flexibility in what's acceptable. Like you can spell Quran like 5 different ways, and it's just like, all right. Although people will still argue about it. My favorite is to transliterate it as Kerrang and just add a G for no reason. That makes everybody mad. Oh, love that. These chuckleheads are the ones that didn't lose anybody. They're out for their morning job or stressing over some fucking spreadsheet they gotta get done. Later, they'll plonk themselves in front of the TV and some talking head will tell them what an outrage it is. Python. Did you see that fucking tweet, Logic, about me mispronouncing C++ as C puss puss? And then fucking We Eatin' Kid jumped in with he always pronounces sequel as squealer. Fuck the nerds. You know they deserve it. Every fucking second of it there. And so on. These chuckleheads are the ones who didn't lose anybody. They're out for their morning job or stressing over some fucking spreadsheet they gotta get done. Later, they'll plonk themselves in front of the television. Some talking head will tell them what an outrage this all is. Some talking head will tell them how outraged they ought to be. Maybe then they'll get riled, but right now they're on their default setting. They only give a shit about themselves. None of this has sunk in yet. Yeah, Chuckleheads is perfect there. I like the Lemon chapters. You know, it's just like so much literary license to be like ornery and fucking. Ugh, what a treasure. Lemon mulls it all over. He's got plenty of time to think. He's not exactly a speed walker, and it's a long god. Oh yeah, yeah. I think we can cut this. And in fact, I want to cut this too. It's a long goddamn walk. Been a while since he exerted himself like this. At the other end of the bridge, there's a barricade. The National Guard is checking IDs and patting everyone down before they let them into Manhattan. All right, I think we already talked about the goons and M16s and BDUs and shit. I don't think you do a capital after a colon. Yeah. Okay. I think it is a dependent clause. Let's take a look at it. So they're saying, but right now they're on their default setting. They only give a shit about themselves. Is that even a colon? When we really think about it. Maybe then they'll get riled. But right now they're on their default setting. They only give a shit about themselves. I think it's a dependent clause. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that one works out there. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's give Logic a point for his fucking M dashes. I'll give him a point for each M dash, actually, because I think that's a pretty big change, and it's a sentence where we looked at it, and it's a fucking train wreck. And it's a little bit more parsable to the reader right there, but I think the way that it was originally written, somebody would stop and be like, "Wait, what?" I never want that to happen. Yeah, even in the service of having like a jazzy manuscript, well, you don't want that. All right, so Lemon mulls it all over. He's got plenty of time to think. It's a long goddamn walk. Been a while since he exerted himself like this. At the other end of the bridge, there's a barricade and a long line of people waiting to get into Manhattan. The National Guard is checking IDs and patting people down. The thought of getting interrogated by some Checkpoint Charlie weekend warrior with an automatic rifle makes Lemon sweat. He starts chain smoking. Yeah, so chain smoking is hyphenated. 4 points since 4 M dashes. Nah, you're not gonna get points for free. I thought 2 was generous. But yeah, that has like a big impact on the storyline right there. That had to get fixed. Also, I think I forgot some other shit you edited before. He starts chain smoking Lucky Strikes. At around cigarette 3, the woman behind him coughs theatrically into her fist. You mind? I just fucking quit, she says. When he turns back to her. He holds the pack out to her. The woman's eyes dart to the jutting cigarette. Her lips are tight. She succumbs and accepts the smoke. I like this a little better. Lemon gives her a light. Right there. Gives her a light. Just to like keep our Jesus motif going in here. I think worry lines is hyphenated. Let's find out. Not hyphenated. Okay. Cool. Let's take a look at ooh. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to take that comma out. I do not like her lips are tight. Yeah, I see where you want to break it up into two different sentences, but it doesn't work for me. Nah, I don't mind. Lemon smiles. He holds the pack out. He holds the pack out to her. And her lips tighten. Yeah, that's how we gotta do it. Rhonda's eyes dart to the jutting cigarette and her lips tighten. She succumbs and accepts the smoke. Lemon gives her a light. Wrong day to be good, he muses. Rhonda nods and takes a deep, soulful drag, not even bothered by the lack of filter. Yeah, that's so Romulus. Almost gave the point to Bongulus. What a fucking travesty that would be. All right, let's see here. I'll tell you one thing that I really like here is the way that after like all the horrific shit that happened in the previous chapter, we have like this lemon chapter right here. And in terms of pacing, this is really good to me because it breaks up a little bit of the creepy shit's fucking happening, kids blowing up and all kinds of blood and guts and all that. And then you have that's like a fucking, you know, Mad Max Fury Road right there. And then we have like fucking Bukowski strolling across the bridge right here. It's like, wrong day to be good, darling. You know? She needed that pretty bad. It gets Lemon wondering what else she might need. But before he can make a play, it's his turn at the checkpoint. Eyeballing the weekend soldiers, Lemon thanks his lucky fucking stars he gave the kid his cannon. The men with the guns don't want to let him through the checkpoint. Yeah. The men with the guns don't want to let him through the checkpoint. His driver's license is long expired. Lemon rolls his eyes at them. Yo, I gotta fucking get to work. You think some terrorist got himself inked up like this? Huh? That shit ain't halal. Lemon rolls up a sleeve, showing off the burning angels right. Private Shitcock here is about to send him packing. You know, I see fucking. It's on there. Yeah, it's annoying that you can't turn off the fucking censorship by default on this shit. Whatever, man. YouTube are a bunch of pussies. I think private shitcock is too much. Let's just call him Private Pile here. Private Pile here is about to send him back across the bridge when a sergeant waves Lemon through, grumbling about how he... how long is the Williamsburg Bridge? Yeah. Yeah, let's say that its fucking main span is 1,600 feet, but that includes approaches. Here, let's go here, and so here is where Measure distance from there to there. All right, so that's how far it's backed up there. So I want to say it's a quarter mile. Is it fair to say that that's a quarter mile? Yeah. And Private Pile here is about to send him back across the bridge when a sergeant barks to let Lemon through. The line is backed up for almost a quarter mile. There we go, cool. Sorry for shitting up the chat. I had a couple of chats eaten by the machine. That's annoying. So I will tell you that I think by default, Restream is picking up the top chat from YouTube rather than all chat, which is annoying, but that's just how it's configured by default, I think. And I don't think you can change it. So top chat screens out what YouTube detects as like low quality messages. I like this better. Nobody has time for this bullshit. All right. But a sergeant barks to let Lemon through. The line behind him is almost a quarter mile long. Nobody has time for this bullshit. Like it. Yo, I gotta fucking get to work. You think some terrorist got himself inked up like this? Huh? That shit ain't halal. This shit ain't halal. Yeah, and it's not. Very few terrorists are all inked up. Let's take a look. When you say like, do me a real fucking solid here. When you say something like "read-on sentence" or something, you got to tell me which sentence it is, so I'm not fucking looking around like an asshole for 2 minutes. But it's yeah, just keep in mind that like our attentions are at different places where this is going on. So every time that there's an edit, I have to figure out where the fuck it's at. Because there's also like a 30-second lag in between the time where you type a chat and the time where I receive it. So, no, don't be sorry. I mean, you're doing me a fucking favor by being here. It's just for expediency's sake. I don't know which sentence is the wrong on sentence. Let me see. Oh, my fucking R key is broken. See, this is what it fucking is. The new Apple keyboards. The Apple keyboards that came out between fucking 2017 and 2020 are just garbage. Really and truly. How did they put out such awful keyboards with like no travel, just really wretched garbage keyboards to make things what, like a millimeter thinner or whatever there? Did that really sell a lot of fucking computers? Kills me inside. So I don't know if I fixed the run-on sentence, but I'm gonna hope so. Oh, maybe it was this sentence. I was definitely going to fix that sentence. He doesn't trust these Boy Scouts to hold their own dicks without hitting some bystander. All right, so that's the right sentence. Lemon gives him a quick, maybe y'all aren't. Oh, I think we're going to cut maybe you aren't all assholes. Liveman gives him a quick chin raise. He passes through the checkpoint, eyeing the rifles unhappily. He doesn't trust these Boy Scouts to hold their own dicks without hitting some bystander. Without hitting some innocent bystander. I think we have to have innocent bystander for that to track. Let's try it both ways. He doesn't trust these Boy Scouts to hold their own dicks without hitting some innocent bystander. He doesn't trust these Boy Scouts to hold their own dicks without hitting some bystander. Yeah, just bystander seems weird on its own there. All right, cool. He passes a woman sobbing her eyes out into a cell phone. Her face melts into his memory, glistening with tears and grease. Alright, so shit gets real once Lemon gets a few blocks up Delancey. He passes a woman sobbing her eyes out, holding a cell phone in one hand and a slice of pizza in the other. That's not a comma there. Okay. The whole atmosphere of Manhattan has shifted. Everyone's nervous. Everyone's nervous and miserable. Nobody has any fucking clue what this is all about, who did it or why. Whole thing's a fucking mystery. Whole thing's a goddamn mystery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how many people were in Manhattan? Yeah, that's not helpful. Let me see here. That's not useful. Yeah. Yeah. We just want the, maybe this is it. Demographic history. Manhattan in fucking... Yeah. So 1.5 million people, I think it's fair to say, in 2006. I don't like this mosquitoes for news. I'm going to cut this. Whew. 1.5 million people live in Manhattan, but somehow it feels deserted. Yeah, let's call it this island. Well, somehow it feels deserted today. Restaurants are closed. Stores are dark. Most restaurants are closed. Stores are dark. Subways aren't running. Trains either. Buses. So buses should have 2 S's. Oh, how do I not know? Fuck off. What is it? The plural buses, but it's so rare that it seems like an error. Okay, so both are there, but this just looks wrong. Yeah. Buses, hell, who knows? But he ain't seeing them. Yeah, that's not good. Lemon hasn't seen a single city bus. Nearly the whole of 42nd Street is cordoned off. Sirens and helicopters are omnipresent. There are soldiers on busy corners, cops looking nervous, dangerous. Everyone is talking about how many died, making wild guesses. 100, 1,000, until it seems like half of Manhattan must have gotten blasted. Lemon hopes nobody he knows got killed. He's running through his mind, trying to think of who would have been up that early. Two S's are UK usage right there. I kind of want to just put the whole fucking book in British English. I like color better than color. But I guess that's racist. But whatever. What do we got here? Maeve says quietly. Lemon's not surprised. Did he sense the kid was there before he spoke, or was that just his imagination? Yeah. Fucked up shit, huh? Lemon asks. There's no response. He shrugs and opens up the place, walks up to the bar and pulls up a chair. Grab me a lemon and soda, kid. My feet's is beats. Grab me a lemon and soda, kid. My feet's is beats. It's a novel experience to sit at his own bar and see the glass zipping through the air. The knife. Okay. Do we want to reference Fantasia right here? Well, it's like a seminal classic movie. I think everybody knows what I'm fucking talking about when I say Fantasia there. But it's a little lazy. Okay, where are you at? Fucking eyelash all up on the screen. Driving me crazy. We don't need distortion 7, by the way. Why the? Yeah, it's just lazy to like reference a work. Like, Lemon maybe is gonna be a fucking studied for generations to come, and I just don't want future scholars to have to footnote this shit when everybody's forgotten about Walt Disney. And my name is like a shining star. So yeah, also fucked up shit, huh? Oh yeah, that is a comma. Boom. Well, Brongulus almost at 18 edits right there. Yeah, I could work on some things. Also in Fantasia, just it's a fucking broom too, not a knife. So this would be more like a Beauty and the Beast reference. And fuck that teapot. You know what I'm saying? It's a novel experience to sit It's a novel experience to sit at his own bar and watch the glass zipping through the air and the animate knife chopping up a lemon by itself. Which button is soda? Maybe asks. The buttons on the snake got scoured smooth by Lemon's tattooed thumb. Holy fuck! I'm not. I ain't writing right. Which button is soda? Maybe asks. The buttons on the snake got scoured smooth by Lemon's tattooed thumb a long time ago. Bottom right. The kid makes a drink for himself as well. He manages not to make a mess with the snake. A natural. Maybe he comes back around the bar. Okay, the kid makes a drink for himself as well. Okay, and we're saying bar stool there, just so that people don't make the association with stool as feces, because I'm not trying to shut up this chapter with that. Maybe he slides both glasses around the bar, or not around the bar. You sit there for a few beats, not saying shit. Lemon's no clocks rule extends to other time-telling devices. I think there is a TV in the place. Yeah, let's just take this out. Yeah, I don't want to... The only sound is the sirens wailing outside. I think when I read the audiobook, I'm going to pronounce siren as sirens. The only sound is the sirens wailing outside. Shouts to early Kyler. You got my gat? I had to use it, Lemon. I don't know if you want it back. The cops will have bullets. The cops will have the things that ejects. Casings. They're called casings. What the fuck did you use it for? I had to. Twice. I shot it twice. I had to. I was at Grand Central this morning, Lemon. I shot it twice. I had to. Sarah and I were at Grand Central this morning. What the fuck, kid? I might have guessed. What happened? That crazy kid from the bookstore was there. That crazy devil kid from the bookstore was there. He was the one who planted the bombs. Sarah sniffed him out, tried to catch him, but something weird... We tried to catch him, but something weird happened to her and he came after me. I tried to shoot him, but he was like fucking Spider-Man. He would have took me out too if he hadn't landed on top of Sarah and get zapped. All right, so this is a big fucking block of exposition right here. That crazy devil kid from the bookstore was there. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is capital. Yeah. The words come pouring out of Maybe. The kid barely pauses for breath. The crazy devil kid from the bookstore was there. He was the one who planted the bombs. Sarah sniffed him out. We tried to catch him, but something weird happened to her and he came after me. I tried to shoot him, but he was like fucking Spider-Man. Okay, so very difficult choice of words here. I had to beat him off with the gun. I don't think we can fucking say that. Yeah. Spoderman? Oh, I would love to make it Spoderman. Okay, I'm gonna give Logic a point for that. It's a good fucking header right there. Much better. Did he die? No, but something terrible happened to Sarah. She got up and her eyes were all white. It was like a nightmare, man. She just, I don't know. She didn't look human even. Yeah, I don't know. How's it comma? I ran the fuck out of there. It was like a nightmare. She just, I don't know. She didn't look human even. I ran the fuck out of there. I thought I was blind. Everything blew the fuck up. I was way up the then boom, whole station went dark. I thought I was blind at first. She didn't look human even. Let's take a look. Well, let's check out even. She just, I don't know. She didn't look human. I like that. I'm going to give Logic a point for that. The lights kept flickering out. It would be pitch black, and that monster kid kept chasing me, snuffling like a bloodhound. Maybe he drains his glass. He must have been thirsty. Probably starving, too. The lemon hasn't got a clue where they could find a place that's open for food. Okay, so here's one thing. Okay, we spent almost like a page recounting what the reader already kind of knows. I ran the fuck out of there. All right, let me see. Yeah, that's a good edit. Mm. Okay, good edit. Okay, so we try to like give you enough interesting shit from his viewpoint that it's okay to recount something that just happened. Um, I wonder, should we just fuck? Yeah, I like getting maybe's POV here a little bit, like the part where he's like Spider-Man, he runs the fuck out of there. That's new information that his ears are ringing and so forth. We retype Spider-Man without caps again. Spider-Man. Can I? Yes, I can read Twitch chat now. There we go. Cool. So shout out to Brongulus right there. Yeah, Twitch chat. We fixed it. We just had to re-enter the two-factor authentication token. I wonder if I'm not seeing my panels. I wonder if I'm. Let me see. I don't show the Facebook live chat. I think we're not connected to Facebook probably, but that's okay. Um, Let me see. But wait, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just, you can hear me responding to the chat right now. Yeah, I don't see fucking Facebook. Hold on. Can I do this from across here? View docs. I can't see. All right, hold on just a second. Let me just check because I'm actually interested if this is working. Oh yeah, we're online. Okay. Yeah. All right. So just one of our docs had been shut there, so I couldn't tell if we were restreaming to everything. But yeah, it's fucking working. Holy fuck, kid! Did he die? No, he was smoking, but he got up. Something terrible happened to Sarah. I look forward to that. Just reading this as a book. It's a good fucking book. What? You know, the worst part is I don't even think that I can sell this one. Honestly, really and truly, I've just been so beaten down by constant fucking rejection from publishing houses, and I think like this is uh, too much me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is Zach's style. This whole fucking thing. This is like very much my vision. And in many places, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. We're keeping that in. And I think that my vision is significantly divergent from what's commercially viable at the moment. Don't you just love it for when you're about to embrace a larger audience of also including Spanish people in your streams because you don't know a lick of Spanish but are still learning it? I can't relate to that. Fucking the only Spanish I know is Mujeres bonitas están aquí, and that's all you need to know. Yeah. uh, oh, so Brongulus says publishing is really rough, but if I have to resort to Lulu, I'm a step above Lulu. What it really will come down to is that I will pay myself to get it edited, and then we'll put it out on KDP, and you'll just be able to buy it from Amazon, like any of my other books. But mi burro es enferam. Oh, es posible. Yeah. What do we got there? Infarma. Yeah, I'm having some infarctos cerebrales from La Mota. Yeah. She got up and her eyes were all white. It was like a nightmare. I don't know. She didn't look human. I ran the fuck out of there. That devil kid popped up and ran after me. I was ready to shoot him again. And boom! The whole station. I was about to shoot at him again, but then there was this blinding light. Then boom! The whole station went dark. I thought I was blind at first. Then the emergency lights came on. I thought I was blind. I was halfway up the train platform and the explosion still knocked me over. My ears wouldn't stop ringing. The lights get... Holy fuck. I almost pissed myself. I like that. Yeah. Maybe he drains his glass. He must have been he must have been thirsty. Maybe he drains his glass of seltzer water. He must have been thirsty. Probably starving too, though Lemon hasn't got a clue where they can find a place that's open for food. Getting out of there was like... It was the worst thing I ever saw. I don't know, Lemon. It's the worst... Yeah. Getting out of there was like... I don't know, Lemon. It's the worst thing I ever saw. The top level was all fucked up. Smoke and blood everywhere. I think Kakama... Oh, I don't... Yeah, hold on. Let's just take out lemon. Like, if we have to have a comment there. I don't know. It was the worst thing I ever saw. The top level was all fucked up, smoke and blood everywhere. Why is there smoke and blood everywhere on the top level? Like, nothing blew up there. Okay. Then at the top level, people were fighting each other at the exits while the cops were trying to force their way in. I had to climb over some people, Lemon. I had to climb over some people. Lemon, I came right here, man. I've been waiting all day. You don't know how fucking happy I am to see you. Glad you made it, kid. But what happened to Sarah? I don't know. No clue. It was a big explosion. This is too many donos. No clue. It was a big explosion. A normal person would have died for sure. You know there was more bombs, right? They blew up Port Authority, too. Yeah, I could see the smoke from Fifth Avenue. Might have been the same kid who planted them. He had smoke pouring. Would a kid actually say he had boom, italics, ears stop ringing, comma, and I don't know, lemon. Boom, italics, ears stop ringing. All right, hold on. Let's try and find that. There we go. Did we miss a comma there? The whole station went dark. I thought I was blind. I was halfway up the train platform and the explosion still knocked me over. My ears wouldn't stop ringing. Yeah, it looks like we got that comma. I was about to shoot him again, but then there was this blinding light. Then boom. Whole station went dark. I thought I was blind. I was halfway up the train platform and the explosion still knocked me over. My ears wouldn't stop ringing. Okay, that should just be a separate sentence. Yeah, that is a run-on. So I'm going to give Brongulus that. What the fuck are you talking about, Scratch Note? It's like you're having your own conversation there about Espanol. There ain't no Spanish happening in this book right now. And that's one thing where frequently, like, so I run a big chat room, and frequently we'll zap people for the tism. And one of the big things that we zap people for is having conversations like kind of with themselves, where they're not on the flow of what's generally going on, which is like a really fine line. But it's like it's a social awareness thing that I noticed that a lot of people who are like on the autism spectrum really struggle with being able to tell when they're like talking about something and other people aren't on that same wavelength with them. It's like if you were out on a dance floor and somebody's dancing to a completely different song, everybody's like, what's that person fucking doing? Because we're like very herd-like. We're very hive-like in some ways there. And one of the ways is that like conversationally will like, the person that's sticking out, that's not in the flow of the conversation, it's like, I don't know if you've ever smoked pot and like one person there isn't smoking pot and everybody kind of uneasy about that person, right? It's a weird thing about people. But I was telling us that true. In fact, I do have I can sniff that shit out from like 50 paces away, really and truly. And in general, in that other chat room, people who have autism to the point where they can't converse, we actually ban them from that channel and tell them to go to a different channel because there's a level of autism that's fundamentally incompatible with having a large social group. It's weird. And I know that sounds cruel and everything, but I've run like a bunch of different communities over time, and I've found that you cannot have those people in certain areas. They'll just disrupt it. And it's something that's worth thinking about too. Like often I think about like how special ed classes, like they try to integrate special ed students into regular classrooms, and they wind up being so disruptive that it lowers the overall threshold of conversation for everybody else there. So yeah, not trying to diss you for having autism or whatever, just saying think a little bit about where the tenor of the conversation is and where you fit into it. And it's something that you'll have to pick up over time, or you'll just get banned from shit over and over again. I'm not saying I'm going to ban you from my shit. I'm just saying this is a skill to pick up if you can. High functioning autism, to be exact, if you didn't know. Yeah, like I can sniff that shit out in a heartbeat. You just have no idea like the number of autists that I have to interact with every single day as a result of being on internet relay chat. It's like a never-ending fountain of these people. Mm-hmm. Ooh, and like the other part is too. I go to a lot of science fiction conventions, and this is another place where you will have to encounter like many people with some stage of autism, and like plenty of people with like Asperger's or whatever. Although I'm not sure if they consider it part of the same thing there. And it's kind of interesting because like a lot of conventions and so forth, the way that they're structured, because the convention is open to anybody, right? Except for some which are like invite only and so forth. And what you will see is that a lot of the ways that socializing um, is set up so that we have these big open things, but then there are very deliberate steps to exclude certain people from it because they don't fit in, right? The big socializing events at like most science fiction conventions are not like the panels that you attend or the ball or the gala or whatever. All the real socializing goes on afterward in people's hotel rooms. Like different people will have different parties. And it's where they're expressly selecting for certain types of people that they want to have in and certain types of people that they want to have out. And that selection process is just um, continually there. And I would assume that any other type of convention that's open to a lot of the public, like I don't know, like comic books or all the way down to like geologist conventions and so forth, you'll have this filtering effect there, where a lot of people get kind of screened out of society. And for there were definitely like I've gone to some conventions where like I'm at like the fucking parties and getting laid and so forth, and I've gone to plenty where I'm like part of what gets sieved out of there and thrown into the trash. So, um, yeah. So Asperger's was dropped from DSM-5. It's all just autism now. But yeah. Anyhow, I want to get through this chapter. I think we're making good progress there. But that is something that I think about from time to time. I like attending conventions, and I'm very cognizant of like ones where I fit in with the people and find people that I like. And like I'd say the majority of the time where I go to something, I don't find like a group of people that I like. But you have to keep putting yourself out there, um, and attending things if you want to sell books. It's like a natural part of the whole thing. And I'm like a very antisocial person, like very very. Um, what would I call? I'd probably be Well, like if we're looking at a scale of some, if you take like 100 people or somebody who are antisocial, I'm gonna come in like the top 5% probably. Just like as a part of my nature, which is weird, right? Because I do so many, like I do like radio shows and host clubs and everything like that. But inherently, I'm like a fairly, if like one of the last people that should be doing this thing. Anyhow, uh, go to a brony convention near me, but sadly, BronyCon doesn't exist anymore. They're all done online. Yeah, the idea of like an online convention, what the fuck are you doing? Like the whole reason to go to conventions is to meet new people, like attend cool panels, and have sex with strangers who are also there to have sex with strangers. And if you can't, like, without the like getting drunk with randos and having sex with strangers part of it, conventions just don't fucking work, right? There has to be that underlying element of like risk and maybe I'll meet some like cute person and we'll hit it off and cheat on our like husbands or whatever the fuck. Without that element of it, it's just like, why are you there? Like, fucking not working. Anyhow, whole station went dark. I thought I was blind. I was halfway up the train platform and the explosion still knocked me over. My ears wouldn't stop ringing. Then the emergency lights kept flickering on and off. It would be pitch black. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Boom. Cheat on her husbands, plural. I mean, that's what we're fucking really all about right there. That polycule or whatever. Yeah, at some point I'll write like a significant story about fidelity and infidelity and so forth. It's something that's very interesting to me there. I've been involved in like some weird relationships in my time. Let's just say that to the extent. And like I don't know, just human beings are endlessly fucking fascinating once you start to get down to their cores. And like the part of writing that I really like is discovering these like very little human gestures that can say something about a character. Like my favorite part of the editing today is that change that we made to Lemon, where he offers this woman who just quit smoking a cigarette, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe I could fuck her, maybe," but there's no time, getting across the whole thing. Monster Kid is a character in Undertale. I probably don't mean to reference. Yeah, I do not want those fucking Undertale people involved in my shit. Ugh. They're worse than bronies. And bronies are bad. Real bad. All right, let me see here. Where's Monster Kid? I could hear that kid. Yeah. Where is Monster Kid? In fact, let's take out the devil kid there. Every time he says kid there, it's understood who we're talking about. I could hear the devil in the pitch black, snuffling after me like a bloodhound. I almost pissed myself. Yeah, I like that too. In the pitch black, I could hear the devil snuffling after me like a bloodhound. I almost pissed myself. Yeah, love it. I'm going to give Brongulus a point for the attempt to spare us. So, yeah, like, very, very worth noting that my exposure to, like, a lot of pop... There's just so much shit out there that I can't keep track of. And especially things that are, like I have no clue what fucking Steven Universe is about. And, like, there are all these cartoons and shit that I just haven't seen because literally, like, my whole exposure to life is like playing fucking video games and writing books and reading books. I rewatched The Shawshank Redemption yesterday. That gives you an idea of like the era of movies and stuff that I'm current with. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Getting out of there was like, I don't know. Getting out of there was just awful. It was the worst thing I ever saw. There's smoke and blood everywhere. Then at the top level, people were fighting each other at the exits. I had to climb over some people. I had to climb over some people, Lemon. Man, I've been waiting all day. You don't know how fucking happy I am to see you. Glad you made it, kid. But what happened? What happened to Sarah? No clue. It was a big explosion. A normal person would have died for sure. Yeah, so he would have said would have. No clue. It was a big explosion. A normal person would have died for sure. You know there were more bombs, right? They blew up Port Authority too. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I could see the smoke from Fifth Avenue. The same kid could have planted him. He's not human, Lemon. He's a fiend. Crazy strong, crazy tough. Almost tore my throat out. You couldn't plug him? I can't shoot for shit, Lemon. I can't shoot for shit, Lemon. The barrel gets distorted by the field. I can't aim. Yeah. I can't aim right. Huh. Maybe you need a different kind of gun, one that sticks further out. Yeah, could be. You alright, kid? Lemon says. You alright, kid? Lemon asks. He reaches out an arm, misses, tries again, and finds Maybe's shoulder. We don't need that comma. Actually, we might need that comma. You alright, kid? Lemon asks. He reaches out an arm and misses. He tries again and finds Maybe's shoulder. Yeah, that's better. No. The next thing Lemon knows, the kid is sobbing on his shoulder. Let's take out the kid there. The next thing Lemon knows, maybe, is sobbing on his shoulder, comma. It's been a long time coming, and it's a long time going. Maybe he's still sniffling when Carl Mason appears behind them, dragging the smell of smoke and death with him. He's covered in soot and grime. The right sleeve of his uniform is torn, and there's a bloody gash clotted with dust underneath it. He's been appearing here all morning, waiting for them to show up. Gotta sleep, good night? Okay, yeah, we're gonna be done with this chapter in just a fucking hot second. He's been appearing here all morning, waiting for Lemon to show up. Where is she? Mason demands. White female, shaved head, 5'6". Last thing on the radio before they all died. I don't know. I don't know. The kid was there. Says she might have gotten blown up. Lemon takes his arm off Maybe, tapping him with his thumb as he does. Carl Mason darts towards Maybe's chair and grabs for him, but the kid isn't there. He got the message. Maybe got the message. Hey, what the fuck? Don't you fucking touch him, Lemon roars, and he's reaching for the gun that isn't there. His hand goes for his holster, but the gun isn't there. Then he remembers Carl Mason has a gun. A gun and a badge, and a gun, a badge, and probably an ironclad alibi. Let the record show the defendant was 2 miles away at the time of the shooting. Hell yeah. This isn't a game. If Maybe was there, he has to come in. He has that same inscrutable look. Thing. He's already gone. You ain't finding him. I'm taking you down then. Then I'm taking you. I swear to God, somebody will answer for this shit. Take me down for what, Einstein? Then I'm taking you downtown with me. Yeah. Then I'm taking you instead. I swear to God, somebody will answer for this shit. I swear to God, somebody... God is capitalized. Ironclad is hyphenated. I think you're right. Oh, maybe it's one word. Let's see if they hyphenate. Yeah, it looks like it's one word. Yeah, yeah. That's Oh yeah, yeah. It's so I had it right the first time. Logic, that is like I think I'm like 1 for 10 in edits where like you think something and I think the other thing. So yeah, it's probably not hyphenated because ironclad became a noun like during the time of the warships, and they probably started off as two words and then just started mashing it together because people are lazy. Like people kind of like slowly write the words closer and closer. At the time, people would have been writing cursive too, so just having to make another capital letter is just fucking effort. All right, so yeah, it's a weird one. You don't got to do a fucking thing. He's already gone. You ain't finding him. I'm taking you instead. I swear to God, somebody will answer for this shit. Taking me for what, Einstein? For being friends with the Invisible Man? You gonna write that in your report? You're under arrest. No, I ain't. You calm the fuck down, and I'll tell you what I know. The worst you got on me is operating unlicensed, and that ain't shit. Carl's hand moves to his, what would you call that? Oh, did we go into what weapon do NYPD, uh, what are they issuing in 2006? Uh, Fucking 12-pound trigger pull. Oh, they have the 590 now. P226. Yeah, he'd probably have a Glock 17. I think I can't remember where we had to talk about police handguns before in the story. Um, but yeah. Dollars to donuts. Only people with the power to choose their sidearm choose the SIG. Isn't the SIG fucking heavier? All right, let's take a look here. SIG P226. It is 964 grams. That's a big ass gun comparatively. I mean, Lemon's gun is a Kimber Pro 2 carry, which is a cop gun, not an NYC gun. Glock 17. Where's the weight? Action rate of fire. What do I say the fucking weight? Yeah, what's this guy caught? 22 ounces. Oh wow, the Glock is way lighter. Yeah, I would go for the. Oh, when unloaded. Uh, so 625 grams unloaded. Why don't they have the fucking? I think that's the loaded weight for the SIG. Yeah, it seems like a more chambered and 40 caliber Smith and Wesson. Yeah, well, in any case, we know that Carl Mason is like a disgraced patrolman. He would not get the fancy gun. I don't have a SIG P250. It's the nicest pistol I ever owned. The Army apparently switched to SIG. I don't know. They never gave me a fucking pistol. In the Air Force. I probably would have hung around if they were just like, just carry this gun all the fucking time. I'm sure that would have ended well. Mm-hmm. You gotta take the soul out. I'm taking a step towards the floating barrel. His hands are shaking. Don't make me do it. Maybe says. Carl freezes. He was gambling the kid didn't have the balls, but something in it. What the fuck, idiots? Cut that fucking shit out now. Cut that shit out now, Lemon bellows. His voice fills up the whole bar like there's nothing else in the world. No, I don't like this fucking line at all. Kid, put that fucking gun down. Both of you faggots settle down right now. Lemon looks pissed enough to come after both of them, gun or no gun. Okay. Errant double quote at the end of the sentence. Let's take a look. There shouldn't even be a quote at the end of that sentence. All right, let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's totally errant. That shouldn't be there. And then this shouldn't be there. Lemon looks pissed enough to come after both of them, gun or no gun. It's the first time either of them have seen him get actually angry. He's probably purple as a grape. The barrel disappears, and there's a shuffle of footsteps as maybe gets distance. Lemon wonders if the kid actually lowered the gun, or if he's just holding his palm next to the barrel to make it disappear. The fuck are you doing, Carl? You gotta know better than this shit. The fuck is your problem? What are you doing, Carl? You gotta know better than this shit. What the fuck is your problem? She burnt them up. The police that responded, they weren't just killed by the explosions. They were electrocuted, burned up. The feds have no clue what happened. They think it's some crazy new kind of EMP. 6 officers, 2 National Guard, all dead. All the security cameras in the whole place burnt out. We have no footage, no clue what went down there. All right, let's take this a step slower because we're not actually editing. I'm just reading. She burnt them up. The police that responded, they weren't just killed by the explosion. They were electrocuted, burned up. The feds have no clue what happened. They think it's some kind of crazy new EMP. Oh. They got them helicopters. That ain't good. The fuck is going on? Whew. We gotta get through this chapter though, boys. Helicopters or no helicopters. Burned up. Feds have no clue what happened. They think it's some kind of crazy new type of EMP. 6 officers, 2 National Guard, all dead. Which subway was she? I think she was on the D train. Yeah. It's the same story with the 2. She burnt them up. The police that responded, they weren't just killed by the explosion. They were electrocuted, burned up. Feds have no clue what happened. They think it's some kind of crazy new type of EMP. I think it's some new kind of EMP. Yeah. 6 officers. Six policemen, 2 National Guard, all electrocuted. Every security camera in the dining concourse was shorted out. There's no footage of what went down. It's the same story with the 2 officers killed on the D train last night, and the one in the Starbucks. All the cameras burnt out. I know it's her. She has to be stopped. God damn, Sarah. It's not her fucking fault. The cops came after her with guns. She was trying to stop him. Maybe his voice cracks. Stop who? A devil. He's just a kid, but he's strong, real strong. He was the one planting the bombs in all the trash cans. He came after me before that. He's the one that did this shit. He's fucking... He's the fucking devil. Mason's pulled out a pad and a pen. He's jotting it all down like he was some kind of detective instead of a beat cop. Fat kid, African American. He was a kid at Port Authority too. Yeah, that is a comma. Boom. Well done, Logic. All right, good job. There's a kid at Port Authority too. The cameras weren't damaged there. Fat kid, African American. Between 13 and 16 years old. Suspect appears to be between 13 and 16 years old. The kid at Grand Central, he was all fucked up too. Black eyes, blood in his nose. Moving crazy, all wrong. Yells in a voice. Yeah, let's check out the voice part. I've seen him before. He attacked me in a bookstore yesterday. Tore up my neck. He's fucking possessed. African American is hyphenated. Yeah, it does seem like the kind of bullshit they would hyphenate. Let's test. Afro-American. Hyphenated American, and was common as a... I like the hyphenated American. Huh, there's a whole fucking... Drop the hyphen in Asian American. Language about race. Less unified. Huh. Well, it's an adjectival phrase there. Fuck. All right, so it looks like politically people aren't hyphenating African American. Originally, it was just AA, because he was like talking in police slang. Fat kid, African American. Suspect appeared. Might have been on drugs. Yeah, that's very cop. Maybe he's on drugs. The kid at Grand Central was all fucked up too. Black eyes, blood in his nose, moving crazy, all wrong. Yes. Moving weird. I've seen him before. He attacked me at a bookstore. Tore up my neck. He's fucking... He's fucking possessed. What about Sarah? You have no idea where Sarah is? What were you two doing together at Grand Central? No. I don't know shit about her, man. I just bumped into her there. We were both going to take trains out of the city. She wanted to get away. She didn't tell me where. Space between sentences. Oh yeah, that's a good space. I just bumped into her. We're both going to take trains out of the city. She didn't tell me where she was going. Yeah, he would omit this motive. She killed 3 policemen last night, Mason says. No, I don't. This doesn't work. The fuck, Blavey blurts. Oh yeah, this doesn't work. I only know her name, but I know she wouldn't do nothing like that on purpose. This whole thing is one big fuck up, Lemon says. We have to stop this. We need to find those kids and figure out what's going on. Have to find Sarah and get her some kind of help. This can't go on. Nobody's getting dinged for drinking in uniform today. What now then? Lemon says, eyes locked on the cop. What happens now? Lemon asks. They'll find the kid from Port Authority. His face will be all over the news soon. At least we have the video. There's nothing from Grand Central. Not one frame of Sarah or anything else. Ripped up needs to be hyphenated or rip sleeve. Yeah, let's just take out up. Yeah, that's much better. Shit. Sec. Okay. So I think there's a little repetition of this center thing there. Let me see if... It's driving the feds crazy. Together, Maybe and Lemon both glance at the ATM machine in the corner. Neither of them says anything. You said you were at a bookstore the first time you saw this kid. Which one? The Barnes & Noble on 5th. The Barnes & Noble on 5th Avenue, not far from Grand Central. This was yesterday, maybe 2 in the afternoon. Kid's got red hair, real beat up, short. Yeah, both of them like, So he wouldn't, Lemon wouldn't know that maybe he was like glancing at the ATM there because he's fucking invisible, but we're leaving it in because it's too good to get rid of. Skinny? Fat? Age? I don't know. 15? Real skinny. We got into a fight at the Bible Io. He stole my jacket with 20 grand in it. Maybe almost puts his hand over his... Maybe. Yeah, we gotta... Where'd you get 20 grand? Carl asks. Yeah, we gotta cut that. From the bank. I'm rich, Maybe says. Yeah, it's so much better. Even though, like, I like some of what we're cutting out there, it's so much better if we just keep the consistent POV. Lemon hides his grin under a tattooed palm. Technically, the kid's telling the truth. Carl shakes his head. Of course the invisible kid is rich. He can steal anything he wants. He probably has drawers full of gold and jewels at home, dressers full of cash. Okay, whatever. That doesn't matter now. The important part is finding this kid and finding Sarah. Hopefully the cameras at the bookstore aren't screwed up. I'm gonna head over there, see if I can get the tapes. We gotta eat. We'll come back afterward. Carl Mason looks like he wants to protest, but what good would it do? He winks out of existence. Carl winks out of existence. Yeah, like winks out of existence. Wish I could stop him from doing that. Only thing worse than a goddamn cop is a cop that can just goddamn appear out of fucking thin air and blast you before you can do shit about it. Lemon complains. Not without his gun, maybe says. Not without his gun, maybe quips. He waves the barrel in the air. Lemon blinks, then starts to laugh. Mason was so tired he forgot. Mason was so fixated he forgot to get his gun back. Ha ha ha! Put that in your fucking report, shithead. Let's get the fuck out of here before he comes back for it. They're three blocks away, trying to find an open restaurant when Mason appears in the dark and empty bar. God damn it, Carl says to nobody. He trembles there for a moment before he dares to jump again. Okay, so there we're breaking POV. I don't care. I'm happy to break POV there. That shit works for me. I like it a lot. All right, so we're up to chapter 52. But that was such a long chapter that we're still going to be a day behind. Oh, god damn it. There we go. Yeah, we'll do. So chapter 52 is going to be God Sent Me. And that's... I did the same. Oh. All right, hold on. Let's do this right. Fucking formatting. Okay, so this is now 52. This is 3.11, but the time doesn't change, fortunately. And we did this because we split one chapter, and that means we need to split every single one. Yeah, like, I worry a little bit that this is too redundant. This is like a lot of telling the reader shit that's just happened. So, this, like every fucking chapter. I mean, we could just edit and edit and edit and edit and edit and edit and edit. We could continuously edit. Like every single chapter that we've worked on could use another pass or two. But we're going to save it a little bit, right? We're going to let somebody else take a gander at this, and then we're going to do another edit. Just because you really can over edit things. You can lose, every editing pass, it's like you're fucking sanding down a table and you can start to lose details. You know what I'm saying? So we got through 3,166 words today, and it was 3 hours and 10 minutes of this shit. That is like one of our better days that we've had today. And that's just chapter 51. And I think this is a good, we did a lot of cleanup on POV right there. And this is one of the chapters where I'm less certain that like some of the POV cleanup we did there, because we lose a few kind of funny things, jumping out of third person omniscient. But because we've taken the rest of the book and we made like that clear, we're not going omniscient, we have to make those changes. So there is a trade-off, but hopefully it will wind up with more people being actually able to read their way through the book and complete it. I can't give out points for the time anymore because now I have a fucking stopwatch running the whole time this is on. It's cool. You could build it into the stream deck. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right. I'm glad you liked the part where they both glance at the ATM. That one I'm not getting rid of because it's just... It's like outside of the reality, but it's too good. Okay, so I think we did good work today. Very happy with our progress. So we are now at, how many pages did we get through? 415 through... Oh, holy shit, we got through almost 15 pages today. 415 through 430. Yeah, we got through 15 pages. So that's like, that's the clip that I want to be at, honestly. Part of it is that's why that chapter feels longer, because you have like some 3-page chapters ahead of that. You have like some 17-page chapters. It's a long chapter. Probably in the final, I'd like to see that chapter cut by about 3 pages of shit. You know, some of that rehashing where it's like 2 paragraphs of rehashing could probably just be 1 paragraph of rehashing. You know what I'm talking about there? But again, I think it's good to realize like, hey, this is where my editing should stop. A professional's editing should start, and we'll see where it's all at. So happy about this whole thing. If we're at 430, that means that we just have 230 pages to go. And if we do fucking 15 pages a day, then we would be done within 20 days. It'd be fucking dope to finish this by July 1st, but we're not gonna rush it. All right, so happy with all that. Thank you so much for helping on this logic. Some invaluable edits there. Shout outs also to Brongulus for being a part of that whole deal. Makes me happy I linked this and not math. And have a good week, man. You know, follow your dreams. All right, later, y'all.